Elvis from 218. Jiajun from 218.
What is going on, guys? My name is Elvis.
Go cat go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoe.
Yes, Elvis as in Elvis Presley, you know, the king of pop before Michael Jackson. Okay, that's enough of that. So, today's video is all about the Singapore-Cambridge GCE A-levels. You don't know me that well. In fact, you probably don't even know me. And here I am talking about the A-levels. And you might be thinking, what gives me the rights to give you tips on how to do well for A-levels? So in lieu of that, I will give you a short introduction about myself, where I have been through my education journey and where I will be in the future. And I'm going to give you the 8 tips on how to do well for your A-levels and 1 extra bonus tip. If you do like the tips I share with you, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share this video to anybody who find themselves having the lack of motivation to prepare for A-levels. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Boop, boop. So guys, welcome to my video on tips for the GCE A-level exams. Let me formally introduce myself here. My name is Elvis, and my grades have never actually been the best. You see, I was usually scoring averagely in tests, going to average schools, and with a raw O-level score of 18, I managed to get into Yishun Junior College in 2016. It's not exactly a glamorous school, but it'll do. You see, the school does not determine your grades, it is your mindset that does. I can validate this because I achieved an A-level score of 82.5. The grade profile being ABC/A, with an A in general paper, project work, H1 geography, and H2 chemistry. And I'm from one of the lowest ranking junior colleges in Singapore. Best of all, my score allows me to choose whichever local university I decide to enroll in. NUS, NTU, and SMU were giving me replies days after I submitted my application. You see, that tells you a lot about the effects of your results. So, how did I manage to do all of that just coming from Yishun Junior College? Find out in my 8 tips to excel in the A-levels. Okay, now before we get started, guys, I want you all to get into the zone. Alright? I want you guys to believe that you're in it to win it, and you'll do whatever it takes to excel in the A-levels. Alright, so right now I want you guys to take out a pen and a notebook and take down whatever I'm going to say in the next few minutes. Alright, so tip number 1 is going to be to get off the damn phone. You guys probably know this already. Your parents have probably nagged you about it so many times, and you've probably tried it on your own as well. But for some reason, most of you just fail to actually follow through with this. And why is that so? Well, let me drop a little bit of science into your head. You see, the prefrontal cortex of our brain is actually responsible for such addictive behavior because it rewards us for using our phones by making us feel good, and hence it makes us crave for even more of phone usage, scrolling through social media, etc, etc. So, with all the lost time, you feel panic when you're literally days away from the A-level examinations. This is why you should dedicate yourself to putting your phone aside after watching this video and start your revision. It's gonna be hard, but trust me, it is necessary if you intend to excel. That's not to say that you should entirely give it up though. I will explain this in the next tip. Now, the second tip will be to give yourself small rewards for every session of revision done. While it is imperative that you start revising for A-levels right now, it is equally important that the revision is sustainable. I'm pretty sure you know the burnout you feel if you study hours on end with no breaks at all. That being said, make every break something exciting to look forward to, such that you'll be motivated to finish that study cycle. The break could be anything from playing a level on a mobile game, reading your favorite book, or even taking a nap. You should keep it to 15 minutes though, unless you're really certain that you're on the finishing touches of your revision. In that case, the rest time can be extended to 30 minutes. Oh yes, and speaking about study cycles, download the Tide app. You see, this app has helped me tremendously during my A-level preparations, and I'm sure it can do the same for you. You'll see why when you download it. Alright, so tip number 3 is going to be to always ask questions and seek help early. The key word here, guys, is early. Don't wait till days before the exams to seek for help, because number 1, you won't be able to absorb anything, and number 2, the teachers would have probably been booked by other students having the same mentality as you. By seeking help early, guys, I promise you can have the liberty of time to ask questions whenever you have doubts. Anytime. That being said, do your own revision first before consulting tutors. Ask specific questions related to the content you are learning and not general questions unless you're absolutely sure that you don't understand what the content is all about, even after going through it thoroughly a few times. Okay, so tip number 4 is to practice, practice and practice. There is no such thing as too much practice, only too little. Of course, with every practice, you must learn from the mistakes you've made and do your best not to repeat the same mistakes again. As my general paper teacher once said, practice does not necessarily make perfect, but will always make permanent. Don't blindly do practice papers without learning from each one, guys. If that's what you do, you will never get better at what you're doing. Alright, tip number 5, guys, is one that I can highly relate to. That is, to never be afraid to stay in school till late to study. Even better, if your drive is unbeatable, you'd stay till late in school to study, then you come home and you study even more. Through this journey to the A-levels, guys, I want you guys to ignore what your friends might say about it and endure if your parents are nagging at you constantly for coming home late. I know my parents have done that to me numerous of times, but nonetheless, I had to grit my teeth and move on. Why is this so? Because to me, home is a place of relaxation. It was never meant to be a place of work. And so, if we were to choose to study at home, we are easily distracted, and we will be less productive than if we were to study in school. Also, I prefer to study alone, but with others around me studying as well, because the knowledge that others are putting in the hard work drives me to do more than them, so that eventually I'll emerge victorious. I remember those days studying in school till the sky got dark, and I'd still be studying. My friends would have left, and I'd still be studying. Then I go home, have dinner, and study even more. That is the kind of drive you need if you intend to excel. Tip number 6, guys, bear with me here. So, sacrifices must be made. No matter how small the sacrifice, if it must be made, it has to be made. A little about myself, I personally love working out. I love this so much that I started a fitness page on Instagram, follow at Vistify, and I even went for a physique competition on the 6th of May on the year of my A-levels. However, after the competition was over, I had to give up posting on my fitness page and even on my main. I had to limit my training days from a daily affair to 3 times a week. It sucks, but it had to be done. You must find purpose in your sacrifice. Even deciding to stay in school to study is a sacrifice. Why not go home after lessons? To me, it's because the time spent traveling back home could be used to study. The thought of slacking off at home drove me to stay in school to study. Guys, do you see where I'm coming from? Speaking about the drive, I was so determined to step on the stage to collect my results of over 88 level points that I literally ran to the school library after lessons just to secure a place to study there. Even if there was no space, I'd run to any vacant classroom and just studied there till the school staff just chased me away because the school was about to close for the day. That is once again the drive you need. So tip number 7, guys, is something that you all might relate to, and that is there will never be a moment where you feel like you're completely ready, but you must keep going. If you feel like the world is crushing you, trust me, you're on the right path. The road to success was never a smooth one. Of course, words can't fully illustrate what I mean, because you need to walk that path yourself to understand. You should stop to smile if you ever find yourself tired at the end of a revision day with a depressing headache, because that shows you are that much closer to excelling. The constant fear that you're never ready will always be there, but if you think about it, that is the one thing that incessantly drives you to study more. And finally, tip number 8, believe in yourself. You see, your parents can only do so much to support you. Your friends can only do so much to make life easier to handle. What's most important is that you believe in yourself. Because if you don't, the battle is lost. You can have all the revision possible. You can do all the practice tests. You can have your friends test you as many times as you want. You can have all the knowledge acquired. But if you don't believe in yourself, the A-levels will triumph over you. Set your goals towards the stars, guys. And even if you don't reach them, at least you land on the moon. Believe that you can study till late. Believe that you'll excel after all that revision. Belief, my friends, is a very powerful weapon. And that is one thing that dragged me along the journey to A-levels. Belief. But wait, I promised a bonus tip, didn't I? So, here's the bonus tip. You see, what I loved to do during my preparation for A-levels was to go to the Good News Cafe for a cup of long black coffee. Caffeine, you'll soon realize, is your gosh damn best friend. It is the only friend that will keep you awake enough to study. I too take afternoon naps from time to time, usually for 15 minutes. Boy, those really pack a punch into your preparation to study. Trust me, try it. Well guys, that's all I have for you for this video. If you liked it, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Also, please share this video to those who are having trouble finding the motivation to study for their A-levels. It is crucial that you get started now, you get started today, so that you don't rush, so you don't panic when the A-level comes. All the best to your A-level preparations, and signing out.